Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little different from the DIY guides of late, since we have here a courier branded sack from Santa. We're gonna be unboxing a Furlan Marri Nero Sabbia timepiece today. Now, this package was released from Philippine Customs a few days ago. I'm not sure if Furlan Marri usually ships watches in a sack or if the sack was added over the customs clearance process, but as long as it provides additional protection, I'm not complaining. Let's get on with the unboxing, then I'll show you watch highlights and offer my initial thoughts towards the end. Let's cut this open. Right, so here is the actual DHL package itself. Speeding things up a little here. Pretty heavy bubble wrap inside. That's always a good sign. And here we have the Furlan Marri outer box. Continuing this video at another time, or really another day, because we now have a new microphone. So hopefully we get better sound this time around. Right, so here's the outer box for the Furlan Marri Nero Sabbia. Outside, simple printing. Furlan Marri, attractive wristwatches, nothing more than that. Opening it up reveals the inner box. Let's take that out. And again, we see Furlan Marri, attractive wristwatches, followed by Born in Geneva on the bottom. Opening the inner box reveals this black sleeve, once again Furlan Marri branded, and inside we have a micro suede polishing cloth, followed by 2 certificates. Take that out, open it up. The first certificate gives us basic details about our watch. Type of watch, chronograph, case diameter, 38 millimeters, case material, blah blah blah, meca-quartz movement, and of course year of manufacture. The second certificate, on the other hand, shows us specifics about our watch. So we now have here case production number, buckle reference number, case sign Furlan Marri, and once again meca-quartz caliber, but this time around it reveals a source, Seiko Japan. So let's fold this up and put it back in the sleeve. So I notice here a black leather strap that was included by Furlan Marri. It has quick release pins, as we can see over here, and a Furlan Marri branded buckle. That's a nice touch. This is a pleasant surprise because the website made absolutely no mention of this. Furlan Marri also includes a travel case over here, and this one kind of reminds me of those vintage luggages, given this leather strap right here. It's a nice touch. Pretty handy too if you're the type to travel with more than one watch. Opening it up finally reveals the Nero Sabbia. And once again we have branding Furlan Marri, attractive wristwatches on the right, FM Born in Geneva on the left. Let's take this timepiece out. And this is a nice touch right here. They actually set it to 1010 before shipping it out. Taking it out. There you have it. Set the time. Well, would you look at that? It's actually 10:10 right now. Perfect. So let's just remove this clip. Push it in. There you go. So with the unboxing out of the way, let's take a closer look at the watch. Start with the case. So at 38 millimeters and very thin lugs, this is a very classically proportioned watch. Very vintage looking. On the front-facing part of the bezel, you get a radial brushed finish, which transitions to a polished finish over here, extending down to the lugs, which then turns to a brushed finish once again, polished over here, and finally a radial brushed finish on the bottom. I also like to note that while the included strap has quick release pins over here, the watch actually comes with lug holes for strap changing convenience. And again, look at the side here, you notice excellent attention to detail from Furlan Marri. Look at this. It's an almost starburst bevel finish on the pushers, which is wrapped, which sort of looks like it's wrapped by polished sleeves. Very beautiful. Onto the crystal, you can notice here it's a very heavy domed finish. Once again, a nod to vintage chronographs from the 60s or even earlier. Moving on to the dial now. Nero Sabbia means black sand in Italian, and that's exactly what we have here. We got this black, almost lacquer finished looking dial, very reflective if you can see that, with goldish sand accents on the chronograph, minute counter, subdial, as well as the indices and the chronograph graduations. Now it says here that the chronograph is graduated for 15 pulses, so it's basically a pulsometer. So what you do is you start the chronograph and count to 15, and assuming you've counted 15 pulses by now, you stop that, and your pulse is right around 150 per minute. You gotta go see a doctor, probably. Now, if you notice when we operated the chronograph earlier that the seconds hand counter of the chronograph moves very smoothly. The thing about meca-quartz movements is that they're essentially very similar to mechanical chronograph movements stacked on top of a quartz-powered movement. So while the entire mechanism is still battery-powered, you get this really nice smooth sweep on the dial. And since it's only the chronograph that has a seconds counter and there are no other seconds hands here for the main time display, you don't get those 1 second jumps like you usually do with a quartz movement. Now even the minutes hand here goes in a constant sweep. See? There's no minute jump. Let's wait for it. There you go. You don't really notice any sort of jumping right there. I mentioned earlier that Furlan Marri included a black strap with a quick release pin. So the tan strap that comes with it also has a quick release pin, and to change the strap, you just have to do this. Get your new strap and install it like that. Easy. Let's do it for the other side. There you go. We've done the unboxing, we've looked at the case, dial, and movement, but what about the price? On the Furlan Marri website, the Nero Sabbia is listed for $575. On top of that, I paid around $120 in taxes and other fees here in the Philippines, bringing the total to $695. So what do I think of that? For the finishing, it's a very fair price, to me at least. There's a lot of attention to detail here that you don't often find in watches twice the price. And while it ships from Hong Kong, Furlan Marri doesn't pretend like it comes from anywhere else. They're even transparent about the fact that the meca-quartz movement inside is a Seiko VK64. And as long as you don't mind having a quartz movement inside, I think it's an excellent pairing of vintage chronograph proportions and reliable low-maintenance timekeeping. How about you? What do you think of this watch? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. While I might have more unboxing videos in the future, most of my videos are tech DIY guides for now. If you want to see more from me, please feel free to hit like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll also have a couple video suggestions showing right around this time. If you find any of them interesting, just click away. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.